So we have done while loop and do while. Let's look into for loop. Okay. So before we take an example for the for loop, let's have a syntax. Okay. Okay. What is the for loop syntax? So for int I equal to condition plus plus, so increment or decrement of count, and code. Okay. So the only difference between do while and for loop is that, so in the for loop, okay, we are simplifying it. Okay. So instead of taking one statement here for defining the count value, and taking another statement here for incrementing or decrementing the count value. Okay. So what we do, we just kept it in a single statement, in count equal to value and increment or decrement of count. So what happened, the number of statements are reduced, and it is looks more good comparatively other statements. Okay. So when the number of statements are reduced, so it looks compact and it looks pretty nice. Okay. So let's look into the for loop. Take the same example, print 10 to 9. Okay. So what is the count in our case? Int I equal to 0 and I less than or equal to 9, I plus plus. Okay. So this is about, and this is system I. Okay. So however, the I value will be initialized only once, right? In the entire while or do while, whatever it is, the I value will be initialized only once. If you take the example here, the I value will be initialized only once, and rest of the times I value will be keep on incremented, right? So in this case, I value will be initialized to 9. In the rest of the cases, I value will be keep on decremented. Okay. So here also, in the for loop also, the I value will be initialized only once. Okay, only once. This statement, this piece of code will be executed only once. And this is the condition, and this is the increment or decrement place where you can do increment or decrement however you want. Now it can be plus plus I or I plus plus, whatever you want. That's not be a difference. Okay, let's take this example and run it, and once it is executed, we'll look into the code. Now you can see 0 to 9. So in this case, what happened here, the I value becomes initially 0, and the condition is, so I less than or equal to 9. That means 0 less than or equal to 9. That's true. To 9, it's become true. Okay, and the output is 0. That's fine. Now immediately after the output, okay, immediately after the output, so what's going to happen, the increment or decrement operation is going to be executed. In this case, it is incremented. So I plus plus is nothing but I becomes I incremented to 1. Okay. Now 1 less than or equal to 9. That's true. So the output is 1. Okay. Immediately after the output, remember, immediately after the output, the I value will be incremented. Okay. So I value incremented to, now already I is 1 and I becomes 2, and after the increment the condition is verified. So 2 less than or equal to 9, that's true, and I becomes 2. So the output becomes 2. Now after the output I incremented, so I value increment or decrement operation will happen. So in this case it is increment, I becomes 2 plus 1, that is 3, and immediately after the increment you have to check the condition 3 less than or equal to 9. So that's true, and 3 will be printed. Again, once it is printed, the condition, sorry, the increment or decrement operation is going to happen. Here it is increment operation, that is 3 plus 1 4, 4 less than or equal to 9, that's true, and 4 is printed. So like this, again it will be incremented like this. Okay, so finally I becomes 9, 9 less than or equal to 9, that's true. So 9 will be printed, and immediately after the output the I value will be incremented to 1, that is 10, because here it is an increment operation. Remember, if it is a decrement operation it will be decremented. Now 10 less than or equal to 9, that's false, that's it, the for loop will be terminated. Okay, so this is about printing 0 to 9. If you want to print 9 to 0, take the same. Okay, so what you have to do, I equal to 9 and I greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and you have to do I minus minus. Now let's run this program. Okay, so 0 to 9 is one set of for loop is executed. The if you see the below for loop, it is printed from 9 to 0, right? So that's how we have to deal with for loop. So make a sys out 9 to 0. Okay, so we'll make a sys out here on top. It's 0 to 9, right? So that we can understand easily. So 0 to 9 and 9 to 0. Okay, so that's all about for loop.